So welcome to the lecture series on antennas and wave propagation theory. So in the last session we discussed about what is the radiation of an Hertzian dipole, and after that we discussed about what are the small linear elements radiation resistances. So now today class we are going to discuss about what is the radiation of wave dipole as well as water wave monopole. So here my question is, so whenever you derive for the each and everything component for the Hertzian dipole, then why we should go for the half-wave dipole as well as water wave monopole? So if you observe clearly, so what I discussed in the previous class is simply I taken the spherical coordinate system. I just placed in one small element at the center of the spherical coordinate system, and initially I find out what is the electric field components and magnetic field components at a far distance r. So I just derived this one. So initially where I started with what is the vector potential at this location, and after that I find out what is my h5, and after that I derived what is my er and what is my e theta, and after that I find out what is my Poynting vector, that is for power per unit area. Then I go for the how much total radiated power, then I derived what is our radiation resistance. So this is what I followed in the previous case. So but here what is our assumption is, so I took a small element. Within this small element I consider that the current is always constant. So that is why simply taken as IDL cos omega t. This is constant for the entire small element dl. But if you go for the practical cases, it is not possible. Why? Because in the practical cases what will happen? So the length of the antenna is not this much small. So it may be having the too much height like this. So entire length, the current may not be a constant. So the current is always changing from one position to the another position. So ideally if you are taking a small element, it is not practically possible. So that is why I am going to take the two antennas. One is half-wave dipole antenna, another one is monopole antenna. So now I am going to do the same analysis what I did for the small element. So now we are doing the same analysis for again half-wave dipole and monopole dipole. So before going to that, I am going to draw the what is the length of the half-wave dipole, what is the length of the monopole dipole. So just here observe. So here this is a completely full wave half-wave dipole. So the length of this one I can simply written as lambda by 2. So if you see the how current distribution over our half-wave dipole is always like this. Okay. So now I can say that this is the center value. Okay. So now if you observe clearly the current distribution in sinusoidal form, it is not in constant wave. So why? Because so if you go for the practical antennas, always you will never get the constant currents throughout the antenna. So if you observe the antennas at the edges, the current distribution is 0, at the middle it is having the at most maximum current distribution. So if you just rewrite this one, so what is this one is, this is the exactly center of our particular antenna half-wave dipole. So if you just replace this one by some reflecting ground, so like this. So now what will happen? The radiation only coming from the only half of the signal, half of the antenna, it will never give the radiation from this portion. So why? Because the completely reflected. So I just replace here this one. So if it is total length is lambda by 2, I can say that this here to here my length is lambda by 4. So now I can name it as this one as a water wave monopole. That is, so what is the meaning of this one is the lambda by 4. This is the entire wavelength. We are taking the 1/4 of the wavelength. So that's why it is named as a water wave monopole. So if you go for the dipole, it is an half. So time means 2. So 1/2 times of the entire wavelength of the free space signal. So that's why it is named as a dipole. So now I am going to derive. So what are the field components at a far distance some r? Okay. Now see, suppose I am considering again the same diagram. I am going to draw again here. So now I am considering the one dipole antenna like this. So within this dipole antenna, so now suppose my current distribution is like this. Okay. So now here I am just here there is a point, distinct point is existing here. There is a distinct point over here. So now if you observe, I am just taking the one small element, that is dz. The small element I just named as in dz. So this is at a distance of simply z. So the distance from the here to the center, I can simply name it as in z. So again I am going to consider the same spherical coordinate system. So again this is the x-axis, y-axis, the entire thing is the z-axis. So I am just replacing my element on the z-axis only. So now again if you observe the current distribution over this, the current distribution may be in a positive direction or it may be in a negative direction. And also I am considering the entire length of this one is, so the entire length of this one I simply written as the total length of the dipole antenna L is equal to 2h. So what is h means here? From here to here the height is h and here to here the remaining height is h. So now the entire antenna I am taking as a 2h, so off is h, the another off is h. So now for my convenience I am also replacing the one reflecting surface to indicate the monopole also. So if you are just replacing the any off surface like this, you can say that it is a monopole antenna. Now, so there is a small element dz I placed along the z-axis. So the distance from here to here is z. So now what is my consideration is, so there is a point P, there is a distant point P. This is a far distance from the our original element dz. So now I am considering the distance from here to here is capital R. Now, so here there is a center. This is our center. So I am placing my element at a distance of z from our center. So now my consideration is here the all lines to the distant pointings are parallel to each other. So here I am going to take the towards the point is r distance. Here I am going to towards the point is smaller distance. But my question is, so how can I relate capital R and small r now? So this is from the origin, this is from the our small element dz. So now how I consider here is, we know that so there is an angle theta always makes with the origin, that is the angle theta. So now if it is theta, I am just drawing the perpendicular line onto this. So from here to here the same distances are same, but I need the what is the small distance from here to here. So that small distance, so there is a z element, it is making the angle with theta. So now I can see that this is an z cos theta. So now the entire distance is r and the small distance is z cos theta. So now how can I relate by this? Capital R is simply there is a relation capital R is equal to small r minus z cos theta. So just I am keeping aside. So I am going to utilize this one later. Okay. Now my point is, so the initial consideration for our current distribution is a sinusoidal distribution. So how I can write my sinusoidal distribution current is, suppose I am taking the I is my current distribution. So the maximum current is Im and it is in sinusoidal distribution. I can write sin beta into h minus z. So whenever the current distribution along the positive z direction, so that is why I can say that this is for z, this is greater than 0. So if you take the same current for the negative direction, I can write sin beta of h minus z for only z less than 0. So here there is a current distribution in two directions. One is positive z direction, one is minus z direction. So that is why my distribution I am going to consider I is equal to I am sin beta into h minus z and sin beta into h minus z. You know that what is h, what is beta. Beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Okay, good. So now this is the current distribution of a sinusoidal signal. My point is, at a distinct point P, how much differential potential we are going to get. So earlier we studied about the entire retarded potentials. So from that knowledge, I am going to write the differential potential. So the differential potential is given as, so now I am going to write the expression for that is d into az. Why? Because it is completely along the z direction only. So how much potential difference you can get it from that is mu by 4 pi into, so there is a current I into, there is a small dz, and before that there is an exponential term j beta r into dz by capital R. So if you observe clearly, here there is a differential vector potential. So that is d into az is equal to mu by 4 pi I into e to the power of minus j beta r. So in the previous case, I simply taken that j bar into t minus r by e. That is a direct notation. Otherwise, you can take it in terms of exponential also. Both are same only. So here e to the power of minus j beta r dz by r. So this is the expression for our differential potential. But I need the entire potential. I don't need the small area potential. So for that small element dz, I need from minus h to h. So now I can represent this one. So this is the h, this is the h. So if you just consider this is an horizon, I can write this is the minus h value, this is the plus h value. So that is why the entire differential potential can be written to the entire antenna from minus h to capital H. It can simply given as Az is equal to integral of minus h2 plus h mu by 4 pi into I into e to the power of minus j beta r dz by capital R. So this is what exactly the potential for the entire antenna minus h length to plus h length. So now this is our final expression. Now I want to simplify this one. How I am going to simplify? So you know that what is capital R? The capital R is the distance that is already simplified in terms of small r minus z cos theta. So now again the I values are different from different regions. That means for greater than z0, then obviously this is another expression. So this one, so this is n plus z. Okay. So why? Because this is z less than 0. So that is why it will gives the less z direction. So now, so here I is different for the different regions. So that is why I am going to just simplify this az expression by using the our I values. So now how I can simplify this one? Simply I am going to take the az expression. So az is given as, so minus h2 plus h. So that is why I just remodel this one, minus h2 0 into mu by 4 pi into, so I value I know it. What is the I value between this one? So I will substitute later e to the power of minus j beta r dz by capital R plus, so what is another integration from 0 to positive h mu by 4 pi I into e to the power of minus j beta r by r dz. So now I know that these all expressions. So now I am going to write one by one. So here So the first value is minus h to 0. So mu by 4 by is constant and common in the both cases. So that's why I'm taking mu by 4 by as a common. So now what is the inside integrals? So here minus 5 to 0. So what is I value here? Im into sine of beta into h minus z. So this is the plus z in the negative direction. So in pi capital R into e to the power of minus j beta r into dz. So what is another integral here? So here there is 0 to plus h. What is the I value here? Im into sine beta into h minus z by capital R into e to the power of minus j beta r into dz. So this is what exactly we are getting. So in the negative direction it will be positive, in the positive direction it will be negative. So now I am going to simplify this one. So mu by 4 pi. Okay then. So here there is a consideration for us. So what is small r, what is capital R, we already studied. So I am going to just implement that one. But if you observe clearly, the capital R is r minus z cos theta. So here I can say that there is a far distances. So that's why I'm just simply approximating capital R is equal to small r. Why? Because the distance is very far away distance from our element. So I'm simply considering capital R is approximately equal to small r. But if you substitute in this equation the capital R by the small r, there is a problem. So if you just substitute in the denominator, there is no problem. In the denominator only capital R is there. So you can simply replace capital R by the small r from our expression. But if you see here, there is a phase changes. Within the phase changes, you can't directly write capital R is equal to small r. So that's why just try to remember this one. So because of the phases, in the numerator, I am just substituting r is equal to r minus z cos theta. But in the denominator, so I am just trying to take capital R is equal to small r. So in the numerator, I am just replacing this one because of there is a phase shift. But in the denominator, there nothing is there. So that's why I simply written capital R is equal to small r. So just substitute there and just simplify this one. So what we can get from this is simply here there is a u by 4 pi. So integral of minus h to 0. So there is an Im sine beta h plus z by small r. I am directly writing, and e to the power of minus j beta into r minus z cos theta into dz, plus what is another term here, 0 to positive h. So simply Im sine beta of h minus z by small r I am going to replace into e to the power of minus j beta into r minus z cos theta into dz. So now, okay. So now this is what exactly we got it from the above expression. So try to keep it in mind. So here there is a phase changes, so that's why I'm unable to neglect this z cos theta. But here there is no phases, directly I am just replacing capital R by small r. Now I am going to just simplify this one. So how I am going to simplify?